this man. I asked him to bring me to a fancy restaurant, and he brought me to Cheesecake Factory. I have lowered my standards way too low, y'all.
Okay. Nah, you want to get on shit and talk with? Go ahead. Pay your side of the tab. We gonna split the bills. Pay your side of the tab here.
Absolutely not.
Put up with this?
You know what? I will go out of here right now and catch an Uber.
Oh, you gonna walk out, huh?
Yes.
Oh, you gonna give me some tonight?
No.
You gonna give me some?
No, I'm not.
Pay your tab then.
No.
First of all, I love the Cheesecake Factory. Second of all, he has delicious taste because he's got the fried mac and cheese in front of him. Third of all, the way that he handled this situation is reasonable and appropriate. And that is because of the other two reasons that I already mentioned. This is why so many men are frustrated with women's expectations. Because all men and all reasonable women know that this is a totally appropriate restaurant to take a date to. I mean, let's not forget, the Cheesecake Factory has a huge selection on their menu, so she's going to find something that she likes. And there's no dress code, so she could wear anything and be comfortable. And there's cheesecake. You just can't go wrong.
You guys ever notice that you'll rarely see a single guy out in public? I was talking to one of my girlfriends about this. You'll never see a single guy just out and about at a cafe or market. They're usually with their girlfriend. And I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule, but I swear most single men just stay home unless they have a girlfriend. I don't know. If you're a single guy and you actually are out in the wild doing stuff, what do? Where are you at?
There are a million places where single men hang out. At a cafe by himself is not one of them. Just off the top of my mind, it could be almost anywhere outdoors, especially near water, like a beach, a river, a pond, a mountain, whether that's hiking trails when it's warm out or a ski trail when it's winter, a driving range, a pew-pew range, a car show, a sports event, anywhere that has really good wings. But if all else fails, just remember that they're basically sleeping, eating, working out, at work, probably working overtime, or just hanging out at their house. Other than that, they're falling into their hobbies. They're spending a lot of time having fun.
Nobody's helping me. Nobody's helping me. All these men for what?
What do you want us to do?
What a lot of women do not want to admit is that this would be exactly them when they get into a situation like this. Because so many women have been fed the message that they have to be strong, that they have to be an independent woman, that is really where their value lies today. But when push comes to shove and they get into a situation like this, they're looking for a man to help them. I don't think there's anything weak about that. I think that's just knowing your strengths and knowing somebody else's strengths. The problem is when you're living in a very peaceful, calm state and you're not falling into situations like this, it's unfortunately a little easy to forget the value in somebody else. The problem is when so many women villainize men as a whole and they say that they'd rather pick the bear than be with a man. You don't realize that in the next instant, if they were out of their peaceful, calm state and they were in a situation like this, they would be looking to a man. And what do you think men feel about that? Because they know this. And do you hear the man in the background saying, "How can I help you?" Like he is willing to actually still help. And that is the majority of men. That's what a lot of women don't realize, is that even though you bash them and you push them down, they are still coming up to the plate. And that should be admired.
To all the people who saw the video that I made last night about getting like touched when I'm in public because people want to come up and say hi, and they're commenting and they're saying stuff like, "Ooh, what were you wearing? What were you wearing?" I get it. I get it. I get it. I get that's what men say. I get it. And I'm sorry. And men are stupid, and I get it.
This one might get me into a lot of hot water, but I need to say it. In today's day and age, I actually think that it can be outright dangerous for a man's mental health to have a large female following, especially when you're trying to talk about experiences that might be negative about women. Because this is exactly what this man has, okay? He gives relationship advice and they're little short clips of his little opinions or experiences, and he has a very large female following. Well, the second he comes on and he makes a video about a personal experience about being touched by a woman that he didn't want to be touched by, he even still validated a woman's experience, and he was saying that he understands that women go through this. He's still got this negativity in the comments. And this is where it's going to be controversial, but I am going to say it because I can say it, I think, a little bit safer than men, but women are more mean. they are more mean than men. If they have been hurt, if this has happened to them, they are gonna give it right back to a man. And by that, I mean any man. That includes him making this video. They're gonna show up in the comments. That's my opinion. Stay safe out there, guys.
If you flirt with me and I'm attracted to you, incredible. Shoot your shot. I mean, who wouldn't? And if you flirt with me and I'm not attracted to you, what are you, a freaking pervert? And what am I? A piece of meat? And if I flirt with you, no matter what, you're welcome.
This is exactly why so many good men are no longer approaching women. Because either one, they have experienced this exact situation themselves. Or two, women are just telling this to men, just like this lady, and men are listening. And that's the thing about good men, is that they respect women and they want to know their opinions, and they will modify their behavior based on what women are telling them. So because those men are good men and they're trying to listen to do the right thing, they are no longer approaching because of what women are telling them. What a lot of women don't realize they're doing is by putting out this message is that they're actually keeping the good men from approaching them, and they're causing the men that don't care about listening to women to approach them. That is why women are the ones that need to realize this. They need to realize that how attracted they are to a man does not determine whether or not that man is creepy. It's really that simple.
3 in one sitting. Is there any need?
Let's make some magic.
What is it? Is it that you don't like me enjoying my life, or you don't want to see me happy? Which one is it?
I just think
Which one is it?
It's just
I don't drink, I don't go out, I don't party.
So excessive mini roll consumption it is.
Is it the happiness that makes you angry that I'm happy? Is seeing me happy? It's like when I nap. I can't have a nap.
Would you allow a child to have 3?
I'm 40 years old.
The fact that this man is logically reasoning through why his wife has a problem with him having too many snacks, it's honestly another demonstration of what men are willing to put themselves through for the sake of love. The sad part is that guys like this, they deserve better. But good men are also extremely loyal, so he's not going to just get up and leave because he's unhappy in the marriage. No, he's going to reason through it, and he's going to try to get his wife to see the light. He's going to try to get her to treat him better, or he's at least just going to cope with it and do what he wants. He's going to eat the snacks. But the even sadder part is that if down the line, like years from now, his wife decides that she's not happy and she wants to leave the marriage, that man is going to be single and then probably want to stay single because of how he was treated. He was actually pretty unhappy in the relationship, and that's how he's going to view relationships. So why would he get into another one?
Oh, wow. You are gorgeous.
Oh, please. Let me just say that to all the girls you date.
Get out.
What?
Just get out, please.
What?
I'm sorry.
That's rude.
I'm sorry. That's rude of me. Just, can you please get out, please? I'm not trying to be rude. Just trying to be happy.
Whatever.
So.
I love this because he sets the boundaries so early. Because this man, he probably already knows that 9 times out of 10, if they start accusing you of something based in nothing, it's because they're cheating on you. And for the other 1 out of 10 times, they are probably deeply insecure. I don't even mean that as a judgment, because people that are deeply insecure, there's reasons why they're deeply insecure. But even for those 1 out of 10 people, it is so important to set the boundary. Because there are a lot of good men that will work through things with a woman that has been through a lot. But the only way to do this in a healthy way, men, is to not let it just fly under the radar. You have to bring attention to it. You have to tell her that the accusations are not cute. They're not okay. And then the hardest step is that she has to take accountability for it and want to change.
Honestly, if a guy lasts a long time and he doesn't want, in like 5 minutes, I'm gonna be really sad. Okay? I'm like, what? You don't like it? Like, I'll probably just be crying. Honestly. It's just rude.
Men literally can't win because apparently it can't take too long, but it also can't be too short. But what women need to realize is that it's not really about her. Sometimes it'll take longer, sometimes it'll be short. It just depends on the amount of stress, the amount of excitement, the amount of sleep, the amount of time that it's been since the last time. And even more importantly, that man is trying to satisfy you. So if you're not communicating what your preferred timeline is, then he doesn't know. Like, he's shooting a dart in the dark. Honestly, a lot of guys think that the longer, the more impressive it is. And imagine him doing that and actually working on that, and then he offends her. That's where they feel like they can't win. And it's not that he's incorrect, because I think some women do think this way. They would be impressed by his length of time. The bottom line is that that man just wants you to communicate. Just tell him what you like.
Every man that I see that's married has like this black band around his like ring finger. So I do apologize to all the blue collar men out there. I was not familiar with your game. Keep yourself safe. Wear the ring. I appreciate you.
I love this, because here's a woman that made an assumption based on her limited experience. And when men came into the comments, and even women came into the comments to explain to her why they wear that band, she made this follow-up video where she recognizes that she made an assumption, that she was not aware. And she said sorry, and she gave some appreciation to these working men. But what is most important about this follow-up video is that she didn't make excuses. She didn't flip it by getting accusatory towards the men that were in the comments telling her why to begin with. She didn't make herself the victim. And let me tell you, not everyone was 100% super kind in the comments. She didn't do that. She took accountability instead. And to be honest, this is the most attractive thing to a man. So either this woman, hopefully she already has a good man, and if not, her DMs are going to be loaded. I need to save you guys the pain of having to watch this for 3 solid minutes, because that's how long this went on for. It did not get any better. She was being fed cherries at the end. 2 things. Men are not okay with the woman that they're in a relationship with to do this. And it is not because he's insecure or he's not willing to have fun or he's just taking it too seriously. It is serious because it reveals your mindset and your willingness to just forget about your vows and to just straight up embarrass your man. It is not cute, ladies. Like, nobody thinks that this is cute. Secondly, you'll need to remember to start worshiping your relationship instead of a person outside of that relationship. Because in the end all, that person is just a person. It does not matter how attractive they are, how much money they have, or how famous they are. They all S-H-I-T. You guys know I don't swear.
Oh, fuck.
Just gonna grab
Cameron, I swear. Cameron, can you stop? I'm trying to work out. Okay, wait, can you stop it? Hey, Cameron, can you stop the rope? Cameron.
This is what you get for telling mom about my steroid use.
This message is more so for the ladies because I think men already know this. If you're a girl that has a guy friend that is close to you but doesn't treat you like this, he wants more than a friendship. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but guys that look at you in a very platonic way, he's going to treat you like a sister. But like I said, men know this, which is why when your man has a problem with one of your guy friends because he suspects that he wants more, I think you should listen to him. And it's not about control. The man is not trying to control you. He just doesn't want you to be naive because he doesn't want you to bring the walls down and then get surprised and hurt when something happens. He wants to make sure that you're fully aware of that possibility because he wants you to continue to respect your relationship with him.
No days off. I'm gonna treat you like one of the boys. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna treat you like one of the fellas. I'm not gonna be delicate on you because you asked to be treated like one of the guys. Oh, we're friends. Okay then, as a friend, I don't take it easy on you. No, I'm just kidding. You don't gotta be roughhousing and all that stuff. All I'm saying is a man in a friendship should not be expected to pay for you, take you out on dates. Oh, when we're hanging out, he gonna pay because he's a man and that's just what men. No, because when you're in a relationship with ladies, when you're in a friendship with ladies, y'all split the bill. Sometimes y'all pay. It just depends on the mood. You paying for her, she paying for you. Y'all are actually showing friendship. But all of a sudden, when you're around a man, don't matter if y'all are friends or not, you expect that man to take care of everything. No. If we're friends, we gonna actually be friends.
So the guy told this whole story about this girl he had been seeing, how they had been seeing each other for months and multiple times a week, hanging out, texting all the time, hours-long phone calls, multiple times a week. And he thought things were going really well. He really cared about her. And she ended up inviting him on a week-long beach vacation with her family. He was excited again, thought things were going great. And then a week before this family vacation, she called him up and was like, hey, actually, like, my family wants to keep this vacation small, so how about you just don't come? And she uninvited him. And it was just very abrupt, unexpected. Like, after that, she just started acting distant and wasn't responding as quickly, which we all know where this is going. And a few weeks later, she called him and was like, hey, I have to tell you, like, me and this other guy are officially in a relationship now. But don't worry, you and I can stay friends.
This is exactly something that all too many men have experienced. And it absolutely really stinks because that man had invested, he put in effort into that woman, only to find out that there was another man, at least one more man in the picture. And look, I totally understand in the early stages of like talking to somebody, you shouldn't be forced into a decision after like one day of talking. Like, you're going to be talking to more than one person potentially. But in this case, that woman invited him to a family vacation. That's kind of showing that you want something serious. That's why that man was hurt. It's not because she didn't end up choosing him after they were just talking for a week and they were keeping it very casual and they hadn't really done anything with each other. The truth is when you're excited about somebody and you're talking about something a little bit more serious, you're spending time with them and meeting their family, you're going to be excited for it. So come to find out, when that person is not on the same page, it hurts. And I think that's okay. I think that she should have known better. She shouldn't have invited him when she wasn't sure, or when she was still actively talking to other people, when he was not her first choice. And then what's even worse is that she says, well, we can still be friends. That's not what that man wants. I'm telling you, this is where it's dangerous territory, because she can offer that, and when he says no, absolutely not, all of a sudden she turns it and he's the bad guy. As if he's suddenly this man that can't be friends with women. No, he just doesn't want to be friends with you. He wanted more than that. And that's okay. That does not mean that he has to accept a friendship.
Babe, it looks crooked to me.
Babe, it's not crooked. It's the wall that is crooked. That is crooked by like an inch and a half. It's not crooked.
Are you sure that it's not crooked?
Do you see this bubble? Look, the bubble is in between, perfectly centered between the two lines. Perfectly centered.
Maybe the bubble is wrong?
Oh my God. Bubble. The bubble is not wrong. The bubble is right. The bubble is right.
You can just tell in this video how much that man loves his woman, because he has the patience of an angel. He not only assures her that it's level and explains why it doesn't look like it's level, and even when she continues to question him, which would trigger a lot of men out there, he just takes a breath and he reassures her that the bubble is not wrong. The bubble cannot be wrong.
You're supposed to like your boyfriend. Yeah, you're supposed to like him. Yeah, if when you hang out with your friends, all you do is talk about how much he pisses you off, you don't like that man.
Oh, this is truth that a lot of women are not ready to hear. Because women have a tendency to share a little bit too much to especially their girlfriends in order to get them on their side. I especially will never understand these friends groups where they all kind of do that. They all talk about their husbands or their boyfriends poorly. And I think that this is such a simple reminder that you are supposed to like the person that you're with. Like, something is terribly wrong if you're in a friends group that is doing this. Side note to any guys out there that are dating a girl and you meet her friends and they start doing this around you, they're talking poorly about their husbands, either in front of them or behind their back. That is a huge red flag. Like, you should take that as a red flag, because I bet you anything she is probably doing the same thing, because that's their tendency. So just run as far as you can.
Emily King, you are a mean girl and a bully, and normally I don't like to make this style of video, but you've just talked about my relationship too much for me to let slide.
He could build a deck, he could grill some food.
You keep saying that you're sliding in some truths, so I'm going to slide in some truths about what you're doing and what you're posting.
She's going to mess that up.
Every once in a while, when your views start to get low, you decide to post me and my boyfriend. You don't even make it new anymore, you just keep reposting the same exact video, even though I've been in your comment section clarifying.
I wanted to find my original comments, but she deleted them because she's baiting comments like these.
What?
It's very clear you're just making up stories for views, and it's also really clear who your target audience is.
And just because I know whose opinion you respect more.
We're still dating, very happily. Stop stealing our videos.
With an account your size, it's really startling to know that you're not doing a single ounce of research into what you're...
I decided to respond to this one. It is a very rare occurrence. Actually, this might be the first time that I've really responded to this kind of hate video. And the reason for that is that I don't think that this is like just bait. I don't think that she's just trying to get views. I think she's actually upset. But let's be clear here. I think there's only one bully between the two of us. It is especially clear if you go back and watch my original video and then you watch this video. Because all that I said based off of this 10-second interaction between them was that I had two theories. One, that he knew her and he didn't want anything to do with her. Or two, he didn't know her and it was love at first sight. Okay, so obviously come to find out you're a couple that does couple content and you set up and plan every video, so it's not natural. So I'm not sure what there is to be angry about because I didn't really say anything other than that about your relationship. The only other things that I talked about was about why men today oftentimes don't want to be in a relationship. But you do seem triggered that I'm talking about a man's perspective. The only other reason why you might be upset, and this is what a lot of people don't realize about content creation, is that I took the first 10 seconds of your video and then I made my own video after that. Newsflash, that's not stealing your video. That's reacting to your content that you posted on a public platform. Where's Justin Danger when you need him? Seriously, guys, if that wasn't an okay thing to do, I wouldn't do it. And platforms that have reaction content, they wouldn't exist.
I didn't like his beard, so I took matters into my own hands.
No! Here, let me fix it for you.
He was devastated.
Why would you do that? What if I took that and I cut your hair off?
I told you I didn't like your beard.
This is obviously so messed up, and the amount of self-control that that man displays is honestly worrisome because it tells me that this is not the first time something completely inappropriate like this has happened. And this man already made all of the good points because he's right. If he had done this to her, it would be seen as an on top of that. There is literally no woman in the world that would remain this calm if her husband or boyfriend or loved one did this to her. She would flip out because we all know that this is absolutely crossing a line. But what's most worrisome is that her display of control over his physical features, she doesn't understand that it's not okay, even when she's listening to all of the solid points he's making. That is a woman that is never going to see the logic, and I feel sorry for that man.
It's funny! It's funny! I hate you! Bro, you're a weird show. Like, it's not funny. No, you are rushing me to the point of when I really got sick. You good because of you. I hate you. You're a loser. You're a loser!
First of all, we all know that this would have been a very different scene if it was a man yelling at a woman like this. It is absolutely not okay. And the most obvious, biggest red flag of this woman is the lack of emotional control. This is why men today will absolutely first pick that woman that is cute but has some emotional intelligence versus the woman that is beautiful but crazy. I would even stand to argue that a lot of men are suspicious of beautiful women because they just assume that she might be a little bit crazy.
I just showed up for my 20-hour shift at the ball crushing factory. Let me show you what my wife put in my lunchbox. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We got trail mix with the animal crackers because I'm a child. We got a Kool-Aid Jimmy Jam. We got the good Greek yogurt with the granola packed separately so it doesn't get soggy. And the strawberries to go with it. We got the sketty. I don't know what's in it, but it's good as. We got tiny zero-carb tortillas. What's that for, you ask? It's for the whole little chicken wrap deal that she makes for me. Look at that. There's lettuce. There's seasoned tomato.
There are women that will argue all day long, whether it's in the comment section or in real life, about how women should or should not do this. But the bottom line is that men that have this type of woman in their life, they are so in love and they are so appreciative of it. They know that they're lucky. So ladies, when you really think about it, don't you want your man to feel that way about you?
You're in your 20s. Go hook up with that person you shouldn't be hooking up with. Dating in your 20s is messy. Now is the time to give into the urges and desires so that later on you're not resenting yourself or somebody else for it. You need to stop feeling bad for it. Who cares? We're all gonna laugh about it.
This is very much some of the worst advice that a woman can give. Because women that do this, they end up having a really difficult time maintaining a healthy long-term relationship because they are used to having a very short-term, huge dopamine hit. These initial superficial relations, they are exciting. Women that do this will end up saying later on in a long-term relationship that they are just bored and they want to put their happiness first. So then they end up leaving. And that is why men have an opinion on this. They don't want to be with somebody that has had a ton of partners, especially if they themselves have not, because they know the impact. And it's not to say that if you have done this that you can't go back and heal from it, because you absolutely can if you do the work. But the best thing would be to completely avoid it and don't do this. Do not follow this woman's advice.
I just tried going on a blind date and I was extremely humbled. Extremely humbled. As soon as I walk up, this man is drinking a glass of wine. I'm like, oh, hi. He's like, he follows me and I've met him one other time before. So it wasn't completely blind date, but we had never when I sit down, he's like, I'm sorry, this is awkward, but this isn't it for me. And I'm like, no, it's not awkward. That's fine. Like, I get it. Sometimes you can feel right off the bat. I'm just curious, what is the reason? Like, what energy did I bring that made you so quickly be like, oh, no. But I'm like, I get it too. Sometimes I feel that energy and I respect you being like, this isn't it. He says, you don't look like the last time I saw you or your pictures on Instagram. I have the beauty filter on right now, but I do not Facetune my pictures. When I upload pictures on my stories, I put like the Paris filter on, but like, to me, like, sorry, beauty filter off. Like, I don't think I look that different.
We have to talk about this because I genuinely think that it is a very good sign that this man that she went out on a date with was able to be completely honest. In person, she was simply not his type. He wasn't attracted to her. She was this close to really understanding it because she was very open and honest about what he said and the fact that she does use a beauty filter on her videos. This is a very real risk that ladies are taking when they only put out there a filtered version of themselves. But she kind of misses the mark when she starts going down the path of saying that she doesn't really look that different. That is actually what is in the eye of the beholder. You might not think that you look that different, but what I do appreciate is that she didn't bash the guy like a lot of women would. My advice, ladies, is don't always put out a filtered version of yourself, because as long as that man has seen your true self, he's pretty clear cut on whether or not he's attracted to you or not, and he's not going to waste his or your time.
Well, you have beauty filter on, you just took it off. Maybe you don't look that much different, but angles are the devil. And I understand you have to have them, but a lot of ladies out there are using angles and it makes them look way different. That's why women in the comments on some of these videos be talking about, you got to know your angles, you got to work your angles. Unfortunately, you don't have any angles in real life. And it takes a man time to adjust. And once he adjusted, he said, no, you do not look like what you have on Instagram. And so naturally, glad he was honest about it. And it didn't seem like he was rude about it. He just said, hey man, I'm just gonna have to be honest. This ain't it. So at some point in time, y'all be upset when men lie about their height. You lying about your face.
A lot of women do not understand how truly sentimental good men are, especially when it comes to a girl giving him compliments or even just the simple, I hope you have a great day on a cup. Because women don't realize it is pretty rare for a man to receive efforts like this. Most men can still recount the 1 or 2 compliments they have ever had. And if you don't believe me, ask your male friend or even just look in these comments. So for this man to receive ongoing efforts from this woman, it's no wonder they started dating. Because ladies, a man is told to give in order to maintain a relationship. And all he really wants is some reciprocation. Trust me.
Hey mamas, let the little boy go with his daddy. When he in the yard, the little boy need to be with him. He going to the store, he need to be with him. He on the front porch, on the back porch doing something, he need to be with him. And another thing, when he getting on to that little boy, do not intervene. Let that man be a daddy. Okay? Let him be a daddy. Because one thing that we cannot do as women is teach that little boy how to be a man. That's where his daddy comes in. Let him go with his daddy. Love you, mean it.
This advice should not be contingent upon the daddy being with the mommy in a relationship. Because all too often, I think that just goes out the window when the relationship falls apart. And that is not fair to dads, it's not fair to the child, and it's not fair to the moms when it happens to them. But let's be real, it happens more often to dads. And the only other thing that I'll add is that daughters need their dads just as much. But I think in different ways, whereas this woman is highlighting the importance for the son to basically shadow his dad. Whereas it's probably more important for a daughter to be able to watch her dad have healthy relationships and to feel the love from her dad. But the bottom line is that every parent needs to hear this. This advice is 100% spot on.
So he surprised me with tickets to the Braves game, and he said that we were right up front. We're not even that close. Like, we're like literally so far away. It's not that close. You said we're gonna be right there. Is this close?
That poor man is just gulping his beer the second that she starts talking. Like, I think he realizes, guys, that he obviously has an ungrateful girlfriend. Because that is close. Like, I've been to ball games, and that is definitely a close seat. And even if it wasn't, who the heck cares other than somebody that cares a lot about status? Could you imagine what she would say about an engagement ring? Like, we all know, and I think he knows, he should know, hopefully he knows, that nothing would satisfy. Oh, you know, because her frenemy from 10 years ago has a bigger diamond. And even if they're in a relationship like 6 months down the road and she starts wondering and asking why he doesn't ever do things for her anymore, this is exactly why. Because you didn't appreciate it, because nothing was ever good enough. That is why if you want a man that does nice things like this for you, you gotta learn how to appreciate it.
I have a question. Why is it when I'm wearing no makeup and like dressed like a bum that I get so many compliments, but then like when I get all dolled up, I like don't? Like there's some, sure, but like not like when I'm dressed like a bum. Why is that? And like, is it some reverse psychology types? You are complimenting me when I'm dressed like a bum? Because like, I don't get it.
I have said it before and I will say it again. Men will take natural beauty over makeup any day. And on top of that, men will find you way more approachable when you're not all dolled up. Also, keep in mind that 9 times out of 10, when you are all dolled up, you're probably with your girlfriends. And I don't think as women, we truly understand how difficult it is for a man to approach us when we're in a group of friends. So if you're single and you want him to approach, ditch the makeup and ditch the friends every so often.
I'm shaking. I just got home from a date. We were going to an event and dinner. We did not make it to dinner. He just dropped me off at home. I'm back home. I've been gone for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm back home. And I have a friend coming to pick me up right now. I just asked him to take me home. You know the amount of times I have wanted to do that while on a date and I didn't, and I just sat there and grinned and bared it. A guy does something or says something or is something that I just don't jive with, and I stick around because it's the polite thing to do. Finally just said, look, I have to be really honest. You just did this thing that is really not my vibe and it's turning me off, and I don't think I can make it to dinner with you. To his credit, he took it really, really well, and he said, okay, I actually completely understand. Thank you for telling me, and let's go ahead and get you home. He also asked me out on another date. What? No.
I love the part where she told us what he did. I guess I don't understand like the posting of this video in order to gain sympathy, yet this man did exactly what she asked and he was very respectful. He got her home safe. Yet she acts like she just had an encounter with a bear. I don't think it's okay to make a video like this and to basically shame that man. And yes, she doesn't use his name or anything like that, but some people can connect the dots with social media. It can happen very quickly. And even if he just sees this, he's going to feel confused by one, because he did the respectable thing, and yeah, he asked for a second date. I don't think that's out of line if he didn't do anything like crazy, outrageous, disrespectful. It sounds like it was just a very specific, particular thing that she didn't like. But if she left it as just a self-reflection and saying that she was proud of herself for being able to end a date that she wasn't comfortable with because she wasn't interested in him anymore, and she typically has a hard time doing that, yeah, that's awesome. That's a great message. Love that. But you don't need to shame the man.
I said, hey, now that we're dating, I really need to know what happens at boys' night. And he said, oh, boys' night? He was like, that's Dungeons and Dragons. You're welcome to come. When I said girls normally don't come to boys' night, it's because it's Dungeons and Dragons, but girls are welcome at boys' night. I said Dungeons and Dragons, and he said, yeah. And I was like, that's actually such a relief. I'm like so happy to hear that. I had no idea what you're doing on Tuesday nights. And then I agreed to be your girlfriend, and then I was like, wait, what happens on Tuesday nights? And I'm just, whew, Dungeons and Dragons, that's great. He went, yeah, that was kind of the plan. I was prepping you to be excited that I play Dungeons and Dragons once a week instead of being icked out by it.
This honestly is kind of genius of that man. But I wish it wasn't necessary, because if women could take a large step back and see that men like this that enjoy nerdy things like Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, they are the ones that turn into the best husbands and the best fathers. They're the ones that get joy from simple things. They don't have to go clubbing or to get a woman's attention in order to feel good about himself. And he's the one that's going to teach his kids all of the fun games, and he's going to be organizing game night. And that sort of family fun is priceless, trust me.
I connected with this guy on Hinge, and he gave me his number, and we were going to talk this evening. So I text him, just got back from the gym, getting ready to get a shower and eat dinner. And he said, oh, you caught me right before bed. Who goes to bed at 8 o'clock? I don't know. Definitely feel like we're not aligned.
Ladies, I'm just going to say this as a reminder. You don't need to be the same person as the man that you're interested in. You can have 2 different bedtimes starting off. You're not in a relationship with him right now. You both would probably modify your bedtimes as needed if you end up in a relationship. The only thing that you should be judging about his bedtime is that that man is obviously a hard worker. He has to get himself up early in the morning. He must have an important job. And don't get me wrong, blue-collar jobs are absolutely important. Or maybe he goes to the gym first before his work day, and he's getting up early enough to do that. How dare a man care about his health or his well-being?
TikTok, help me find this man right here at the Sunday, August 4th, Detroit Tigers game against the Kansas City Royals. Section 122B. Because look, he's just having a blast all by himself, and I love that because I've been having a blast. Look, all by himself, and he's so cute.
I had to cut this video short by 2 minutes. 2 minutes of edited content where this lady had probably filmed him for way longer than that. I'm sorry, but am I the only one that thinks that this is extremely creepy? And if this was a man filming a woman, the internet would be outraged. Women will get creeped out just by a man looking at her at the gym, just briefly. But here's a woman that has filmed, edited, uploaded, and asked others to find this man without his consent. I really felt like this entire situation was extremely creepy.
That guy is so cute. Look at him, isn't he cute?
Bro, you're tripping.
He's so cute.
Yo, come over here, bro. My girl thinks you're cute.
What the? Bro.
What?
What the?
Think it's funny playing games? I'm gonna tell him.
I was
Come
joking, bro.
Come here, dog.
Bro, stop. What the?
I want him back. Go get him.
Stop it down.
Maybe he's got a sister for me.
Oh no, it's like the consequences of your own actions. Which is because, ladies, this sort of behavior is not cute. No man wants you to make loving you and being in a relationship with you into a competition. Because it's disrespectful, it's playing games, and it tells him that you must not like him that much. Which unfortunately means that you can no longer be his long-term plan.
There is nothing weirder to me than seeing a man want to find a girl that's the whole package. Beautiful, funny, smart, entrepreneurial, motivated.
See, this is why you never ask a fish how to catch fish. Because 3 of the 5 things she just listed there, we don't really even give a fuck about. We just want you to be nice and pleasant to be around. I want to hang out and just have a good time. And entrepreneurial, if I wanted an entrepreneur, I'll just call up one of my boys and we can date.
I don't know when we're finally going to realize that men in their 40s are not to be messed around with. I mean, he can absolutely admire a woman, but when that woman takes him for granted, that man is going to be gone. Because trust me, he's already experienced a one-sided relationship where his love and affection was never appreciated. So when he starts to see signs of this, he is just done. No warning, no explanation, he is just gone.
Last night, I was at dinner with my girlfriend, and we were talking about the fact that there are just not enough attractive men out there, and there are so many hot women. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Even if I were to walk down the street right now, I could guarantee you, in the span of a few blocks, I would see a handful of gorgeous women. Women with style, women with poise, women who are just conventionally attractive. And I might see one attractive man, and that's on a good day.
Maybe it's not that men are no longer attractive. Maybe it's just that you're not attracted to men. Men are being made the same way men have always been made. I don't know. I think the same argument could be made by men talking about women, because men oftentimes they love a more natural look from women. But let's just consider that our standard of beauty might be getting a little bit warped between men and women, because women that put themselves on a pedestal will say that men are not taking care of themselves if they're in jeans and a t-shirt. And as that's happening, I just think that we all just need to bring ourselves down a notch and humble ourselves.
I need to know when it became cute and trendy to publicly humiliate and just like make fun of your husband. Let's watch this video of this woman videoing her husband while he's like catching a baseball with their kids, so playing with his kids. He looks at her while she's recording and is like smiling because he thinks that she's like admiring him, and her text is like saying how much of an ick it was. And then the comments are people just shitting on her husband. She's like liking all the comments. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's just a joke. If your husband did that to you, you would literally file for divorce. You would have thousands of comments of girls and women commenting, telling you to get divorced because your husband's a POS. You realize your husband is a reflection of you. So when you are posting that he's giving you the ick for just like existing, what does that say about you?
There's this facial expression that men do that I've actually never seen women do. And I'm gonna see if I can replicate it here. But it's like when somebody is explaining something, I don't know if it's more like their reasoning behind something. But anyway, so this is the look that like men will give. It's this like weird, I can't even do it because I've never made the face before.
It's literally the, are you sure about that face? But he doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so he's going to be quiet. He's going to let you get to your point. And then he's going to very gently nudge you towards the truth.
Would you rather one night with us or a year's supply of this sandwich?
That looks like a barbecue brisket sandwich, and I can get one of those down at Buc-ee's for $11. A year's supply, I'm assuming, would be 3 a day, so that's $33 a day times 365 days a year, which comes out to a little over $12,000 in monetary value. On your best night, the two of you are worth $80 together, minus the cost of a hotel room and treating gonorrhea. So I don't even know how you came to ask this question. Women, y'all talk a lot about choosing the bear. I choose the brisket sandwich.
Yeah, man, sound good to me. I can give me a baked potato, one of the big ones, a brisket plate, sausage. It don't matter. I can get it, be full, and go on do my other things that I want to in life. Oh, and I can continue to have the energy to look for a woman that actually cares about me and loves me and is not doing this for social media clout. So it's a win-win for me. I get fed good food, and then I have that food power me to the next woman that actually makes sense for my life, doesn't mind raising children with me and building a legacy, and is not up for all of the foolishness and the games that you guys are talking about.
Okay, listen, I've confirmed it. My husband no longer cares about me. Okay, so this morning when I woke up in a really bad mood. Okay, I don't know why I woke up in a bad mood, but I was just in a bad mood. And I wanted to talk to him about it. I really did. So when he asked me the first time, he said, "What's wrong with you? You're acting like you're in a bad mood or something." I said, "No, I'm fine." Okay, so then he asks again. He was like, "No, I can tell something's wrong with you. What's going on? Is there something wrong?" And I said, "No, I'm fine." And then he never asked me again. He never asked again. And what hurts the most is that I was going to tell him on that third time. I was going to tell him the third time that he asked. Did not persist with the questions. He asked twice and he let it go. Who does that? Who does that? I'll tell you who does that. Somebody who doesn't care about their wife. That's who does that. Somebody who's probably cheating on her. Somebody who...
Or maybe your man just can't read your mind and he's relying on you to use your big girl words when something is wrong with you and tell him. And what's frustrating for that man is that he's most likely going to be the one to apologize because he doesn't want to fight. Even though he's not the one that woke up with a bad mood. Even though he's the one that did check in with you to see what was wrong. Even though all that man probably wants is for you to be okay. On the other hand, if you used your words and you told him what was wrong, and if he had a poor reaction to that, that would be a different story. But at least that would be something real for him to actually apologize about.
So my body count is 500, and it got me thinking, what is the average person's? Like,
I'd be right up there with you, girl, except my dad kept saying this stupid phrase throughout my childhood. It was so redundant. What was it? Oh, I love you.
My soon-to-be ex-husband just pulled up to my house in a brand new truck, and I'm not really sure if I'm sad about it or if I'm mad about it. There's a little bit of both happening there, because a brand new truck really mattered more to this man than his marriage and his dog. Which, I mean, if he wants to be the loser that lives in an apartment with a brand new car, then by all means be my guest. All he's doing is showing me that he really was a financial burden on me and that I should not keep him around. One of the most consistent arguments we had was that he wanted a brand new $100,000 truck.
I think that most guys watching this will guarantee you that that man is so happy with his new truck. And he's probably not even thinking twice about what his ex-wife thinks about it. Because that's one of the biggest benefits of being single. You get to make all of your choices yourself. And my biggest piece of advice to that soon-to-be ex-wife is to let it go, because pretty soon you're not going to have any ties to that man.
Every first date that I go on, the man always says, so I was on a date with this girl, and I have to jump in with, oh, you date children? Watching his response is a great litmus test, because he's either going to be really offended that I just compared him to or he is going to change his language immediately because he realizes that a 41 to 50-year-old man calling his similarly aged dates girls is creepy.
Or he's going to be thankful that you're throwing out the red flags right away. This will give him time to escape while he still can. This sort of behavior is exactly why some women have first date after first date, never a second date. Because they are intentionally argumentative, like they're trying to teach a man, but you're not going to teach him anything other than you're intentionally argumentative. And that a lifetime of passive aggressiveness would be in his future if he were to choose you. I mean, the bottom line is that relationships aren't for everyone, but you seem fun.
Girls tell guys exactly what they want with subtle hints. Example, I have left these flowers here for 3 weeks dead. They've been here dead on the table for 3 weeks, and I've been thinking, my boyfriend passes this table 6 billion times a day. He sees this 6 billion times a day. One of these times he's going to pass by and think, the flowers are dead, they're crumbling all over the table. I think it's probably time to replace the flowers. I was sadly mistaken, as Justin Bieber said. I was sadly mistaken, and now I have to throw these flowers away, and I'm going to probably get new ones for myself. I just feel like that was the most subtle hint I could have possibly left.
You know what your man's actually probably thinking is that you must really like those flowers because you're keeping them for a long time, and he's not going to touch them because you must really like them. Or he didn't even notice the flowers were there. Now, what he might notice is an empty vase with nothing in it. Maybe a little bit of water. Maybe try that. Or maybe just tell him what you want and don't make him read your mind.
I have a brief question for the men. Is it actually possible to think about nothing? And if so, what is nothing? Because as a woman, I don't really know what that means.
Some men will call this their nothing box, and it's basically where their attention and focus goes outward instead of inward. But they're still very conscious, like they are taking in their surroundings, it's just without analyzing or judging. Some men will also say that it's not so much thinking about nothing, but it's just not thinking. It's like driving on cruise control on the interstate, and you get to your destination and you have no idea how you even got there. What's interesting to me is that I really think that this is similar to how women will describe dissociation, but women will see this as a scary thing. Like the fact that she dissociates is a scary negative thing because of some form of trauma in her past. Whereas men, they love the nothing box. They want to be able to achieve the nothing box on a daily basis because they spend their entire day figuring things out, solving problems. The nothing box is a vacation for them.
So one of my guy friends gave me permission to make a Hinge account for him, because I was telling him how easy dating is with dating apps. And he was telling me that it's incredibly difficult. And I was like, Pete, you must be doing something wrong. And he gave me permission to create an account for him and just run the account. I've been a virtual boy for 3 days, and I've never felt this bad about myself. I feel like a freaking loser trying to get these girls to like me. And I'm starting to hate women because I'm like, when I say I mean Pete, because that's the account I'm using. Pete's about a 6. But I'm so desperate, I'm liking the 2s and the 3s, and even they won't like me back, Pete, which is a 6. So what level of delusion has entered women's heads? Like, what is going on? It is so difficult dating as a boy. I hate it. I'm on day 3 of being a boy, and I hate women, and I'm more depressed than ever.
This is exactly what men have been saying for years about dating apps. Because first off, it is very rare for men to even get matches, especially matches with women that they are actually physically attracted to. And that is not because men are swiping only on supermodels, like they're only swiping on 10s. They are swiping right on a variety of women, just as long as they think that they could be attracted to her. But ladies, you have to understand that even when men find matches, it is very rare for them to have an actually good conversation. Because usually you ladies are really dry texters and you will just ghost them oftentimes. So yeah, men have been complaining about this for the longest of times, which is why if you're a woman that is interested in a man off of a dating app, all you have to do is to show a little bit of effort. If you do that, that man is going to double down on the effort and the energy that he spends on you. He's going to pursue you and most likely be everything that you want him to be. It is like a no-fail way to end up with a boyfriend.
You had a long weekend and you don't want to go to work, but you do. And you come home to this.
Don't forget the BJ.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dying because he ordered a cake for no reason.
What do you mean? I bought it for myself.
I know. What does it say? Thank you for all you do. Who's that for?
For myself.
You bought this for... Why would you buy a cake for yourself?
I want to thank me. You know, like Snoop Dogg does.
That is a man that is unbothered, so much so that he is not afraid to appreciate himself. And I bet you anything, that is a man that has been putting in the time and the effort into his work, into his family, into his relationships. And he likes cake, and he's supporting a local bakery. It all makes sense to me, but I don't think that his wife should feel like this is a slight against her. Like, she shouldn't feel bad about this. Because if the message behind this from him was that he wanted her to think of something to do for him that would be appreciative, he should have just told her that, right? She shouldn't have to read his mind. Just like I say all the time, girls, if you want flowers from your man, just tell him. But with that being said, I do think that his wife should take some notes because the man obviously feels like he should be appreciated. He's been putting in the work and he obviously likes cake. So get him a cake sometime.
You know what? The fact of the matter is this man had to go do for himself what you weren't doing. Women will sit up there and say to a man, why aren't you buying me flowers? Why aren't you buying me little things? It's not the big things. It's the sentimental value. It's the little things that say you're considering me. Guess what he just said? I don't feel like I'm being considered. I'm going to go buy myself something. Isn't that what modern women say? Isn't that what boss babes and strong, independent women say? I don't need you to buy me no flowers. I don't need you to hold my hand. I can love me better than you can. Shut your stupid behind up. Shut up. Shut up. The fact of the matter is, and women, some women, will see this video and call the man sassy. Oh, just say you want to be the princess. Just say you want to be the diva. Just say you want to be the woman in the relationship. If that's what it takes to get some common decency and respect, I want to be the woman then. I want to be the woman. If that's what it takes for somebody to take care of me like I'm taking care of them, then I want to be the woman. If that's what it takes for me to get something and I've been given out, for me to receive and I've been given, I'm the woman then. It's sad that I have to go that far. You should just, as a person who loves me, you should just want to give me something and be appreciative and give me something back when I've been giving you something. I'm the woman in that case.
This is an update on this situation because this woman posted this TikTok a few weeks ago. It had millions of views. She has now appropriately been pushed off of social media. Literally, she has no more account. She has deleted everything. And even her sister, who has TikTok, has come on and apologized. None of her family or friends are defending her, which is exactly what should happen. And I think that this is what a lot of women don't understand to smaller degrees when they come on here and they just shout out hate towards men in general. They think that they're going to get backed up by a large group of women. I'm glad to see that those people, both men and women, have shown up and told this woman the truth. Most people have experienced this kind of hurt personally. The bottom line, in the real world, I think that we see women and men understanding that we need each other and we appreciate each other. For a lot of men, it's just nice seeing that some double standards are starting to break down. Maybe.
I know that I am not the most beautiful woman in the world.
I know that you don't even believe I'm the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yeah, I would disagree with what you're saying.
Am I the most beautiful woman in the world?
That's the thing, is beauty is way more. Beauty in a person is so much wrapped up in that.
100%.
And there's actually no one more beautiful than you. Like, genuinely, because there's so much in that.
This is exactly what I see women get wrong time and time again. Because beauty is so much more than surface level. And a big part of that, ladies, is in your actions, is how you treat him. It's in your personality. It's in your selflessness. It's in your caring and nurturing nature. Those are the things that a good man cares about.